Fishing Obsessed podcast. We'll be sitting down with a fresh guest each week. Someone who shares the same kayak fishing passion that runs through our veins. We're talking kayak anglers, kayak companies, lure experts. Heck, anyone who's got a story to tell about landing the big ones from a kayak. We're setting our sights on becoming the #1 kayak fishing podcast in the world. You'll get a chuckle, a grin, and hey, maybe even a belly laugh. Because we believe in the power of humor. But above all, we're here to educate and inspire. So, whether you're a seasoned kayak angler or just dipping your toes into this exhilarating world, join us on the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast. It's time to reel in adventure, camaraderie, and the joy of the catch. Here's your host, Daren Wendell.
Hey, you fish freaks. Welcome to episode number 101 of the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast, your ultimate source for all things kayak fishing. And this episode is brought to you by our show partner, Dark Horse Tackle. And guess what, Seth?
What's up?
I just got my box today.
Look at that.
I'm going to pick out a bait here. I was looking at this one earlier before the show, the Titanium Pro from Picasso Lures, right? It's got a silicone skirt. It's actually a swing head on here. So that's kind of interesting. I know, right? It's titanium. So go ahead. Try to come after this muskie. See what happens to your teeth. Double willow blade. I'm excited for this.
Picasso stuff around. I think there's a guy in Georgia that's pretty big into Picasso.
Really? Wow. I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to break it out. Had some luck on the Bacon SSR. Did you see that big brown I caught this past weekend?
I did. Were you trout fishing or
no? Trout fishing. Let's go after smallies. I was in Springfield, Ohio, looking for places to catch smallies because the Kayak Adventure series is coming up, and was like, "Hey, I'll try out this river." Floated it, was throwing a crankbait of all things, and it was just getting chomped by browns.
I can already see it now. You're going to catch like a 24-inch brown trout in the Kayak Adventure series, and be like, "Oh, I can do nothing with this." So
my PB, take some sweet pictures. So
there you go.
that was a good time for sure. So head over to darkhorsetackle.com. Check out all that they have out. This is part of their subscription box. So pretty excited about that. Also excited by 10K Sweaty Fishing. Thank you so much, brother, for becoming a channel member. As I shared last week, now that I'm full time, this is that stuff helps out a lot. So thank you so much. And every other. I'm going to have a hard time talking tonight. I couldn't even talk to Seth earlier. Everyone else who's a channel member too. Appreciate you guys so much. Awesome. All right, guys. I have tonight Matthew Milatz. I think that's how you say it. He's looking at me. He's like, wrong. I haven't brought him out of the green room yet, but he is the owner of LIV Fishing. And we're going to be talking a lot about fishing gear, accessories, a lot of which I use and love. So Matthew, welcome to the show, brother.
What's going on, guys?
Not much, man. Sorry we're a little late. Matthew was getting he was texting me as like, hey, we have some horrible traffic here.
Dude, Texas, Dallas area, if you drive around here, you're screwed. You can't go nowhere without an accident happening that day. And it's like you try to plan around it, but you can't. You get screwed every time. So
the expected accident, the daily accident.
It's so bad. And what is like 2 of the top 5 worst highways in the country are right here in Dallas, too. And I live like between both of them. So it's like,
nice.
Perfect spot.
It's never ending, man.
Why Texas? Do you just grow up there?
Well, Washington. I'm originally from there, Washington State. And
okay.
It was
very different.
Yeah, it was cold, rainy, depressing there.
Yeah.
And but the fishing's
the fire of 1,000 suns in Texas.
Yeah, it's an interesting place, man. The fishing you can't complain about really because the fish are dumb, but the Texas ones are a little bit more smart, so it's hard to enjoy it, because, I'm not the smartest guy out there, but I can catch them good in Washington.
Okay.
Here in Texas, I'm struggling. So
just bass, because when I think Texas, I think some of the most prime bass fishing in the country, at least when it comes to donkeys. Now, are you equivocating bass to bass fishing, or for different species up in Washington State?
No, it's weird here, man. I just feel like the fish are smarter, and it's like it depends on what lakes you are. But the Metroplex here, the lakes are just not as good. Like in Washington, you can go out to any dock, cast a Senko, and you're going to catch a good bass. Like it doesn't matter.
Really?
It's like what is it? Like Sam Rayburn and stuff like that, Fork and stuff like that. They're really good. Some of those lakes, more to the east side, but the Metroplex, it's tough, man. It's tough.
It's interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
You get hammered in Texas, the anglers in Texas are legit. Those dudes that are electronics, like you go out to some of those lakes, man, those fish have seen baits.
Yeah.
They make it all
I moved here and I thought it was going to be a lot easier. That was one of the reasons why I moved here. And it's not easy.
All right. So this is interesting. I'm having a conversation with Alex Rudd and we're going back and forth. He's like, oh yeah, those bass up north are really easy to catch. And I'm like, what? The bass down south are really easy to catch. And we're just going back for like, no, they're cold and dumb up north. Like, what are you talking about? All I see is everyone ripping lips down south. So it was interesting, everyone's perspective of if you're in the north, you're looking at everyone down south. Like, you guys catch donkeys like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't know. It's interesting.
Big fish here, 10 times better options, you know what I mean? There are opportunities here. But Washington, I mean, you can just go out to like most of your lakes and catch 20, 30 fish a day. Like it's not.
Yeah, that's true.
Here,
I can catch a lot of small fish.
Like 10 a day.
Yeah. It's not unusual for me to go out and in a morning I can catch 7 to sometimes 20 fish. I've had mornings where I've caught 40, 50. Now they're not donks.
Yeah.
Out of all of those, I might have 1 or 2 good size, but man, they are freaking plentiful.
Yeah.
Any other type of fishing up in Washington other than bass fishing?
I did a lot of salmon, steelhead. We went out on the coast a lot for albacore tuna, and then also kings out there, lingcod, halibut, stuff like that. So
okay, we're gonna stay here for a second because in 2 weeks I'm gonna be on Vancouver Island, and we're gonna be fishing for all the things.
Yeah,
you just said. However, I've never caught a lingcod, never caught a halibut. I've caught kings before and coho. But I have no clue. We're going to be in kayaks. We're going to this lodge called the Sea Otter Lodge, and it's like the Salmon Highway. And apparently they're running right now, so it should be stupid. But
you should have a good time.
Yeah, this would be good. I mean, lingcod. Those things are the funkiest looking fish. I've only seen them on photos, but
they're cool looking, man. They're little. I don't even know how to describe. They're just crazy looking. You would never think fish look like that. They're goofy looking.
I don't even know what those are. I don't even know what
Google it.
Go look up a lingcod and then share the screen with everybody because they got freaking like teeth.
Like
visible. Yeah, lingcod, LINCOD. I believe
they taste good.
Yeah, here's the thing. When I go up there, Seth obviously just found one. We're gonna be coming. When I go up there, all the fish we catch, we have like this partnership with someone who's gonna cut them all up and put them in coolers and send them home with us. So I'm going to come home with thousands of dollars worth of all kinds of fish.
Well, if you want, you can send them to me and I'll gladly take some.
Oh, yeah? All right. I'll just bring them down to ICAST and we'll just throw them on a grill out back.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Seth, crazy month. Crazy week.
Yeah.
I'm going to AEP here in 2 days, going down there for 4 days. Get back at the Kayak Adventure Series tournament on Friday, Saturday, and then I'm leaving Sunday to fly to Canada to do all that jazz. So it's going to be
a lot of fishing, man. It's
a lot of fishing.
Sounds tough, Darren.
No, I'm not complaining.
Yeah. What a struggle of a life you got going on.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that came across wrong. See, this is what I used to do to people when I heard them sound like complaining. I remember one time I was following Josh Jones, and he was like, "Hey, I traveled 18 hours. I have to sleep back in my truck to go fishing." I was like, yeah, it must be nice. Everyone hates their jobs and they would love to drive 18 hours to go sleep in the back of their truck to go fishing. No, it's just it's interesting, this whole transition from corporate world to content creator world, because I actually fish less now than I did before, which is wild because for every day I'm out, I almost have 2 days in front of the computer from all the work. I'm starting a business with Chad Hoover and I. You guys will hear more about KFast moving forward. I got the content creation, which I wanted to amp up. And so I am in front of a computer editing more so than ever. But I could do trips like this more often, and I'm blessed to do it. So thank you all who helped make that possible. But tonight, Matthew. Is it Matthew or Matt? What do you go by?
Whatever works, honestly. Matthew,
Yeah. LIV Fishing. Right? So full disclosure, everybody, I'm partnered with LIV, and I'm partnered with them because I love their gear. I love a lot of their accessories. I run their, you guys have probably seen it. I got their rod sleeves, I got their tackle bags, I got all the things. But I wanted to bring him on tonight to kind of talk about just the fishing industry. Matthew, we had a conversation. I don't know if you remember this, like a month and a half ago, where we just kind of get kind of behind the scenes. And it was fun because I love kind of geeking out and understanding more of the fishing culture. And you're not going to learn that any better than if you're starting a business. And then you got a mix of tariffs, and it's just interesting. So if you had never seen LIV Fishing, let me go ahead and share this screen so everyone. And also tonight we're gonna have 4 giveaways, and so thanks for hanging around. We're gonna do 4 $25 gift certificates to livefishing.co. And I always feel so philanthropic. Last week I was like, "Oh, we're giving away over $1,700 worth of gear." I'm giving away other people's money. It's a ton of fun. So thank you, Matthew, for offering this up. I will connect you, and we'll do that thing we did last week with the giveaway tool. So we'll stop when we feel like we should stop. But let me share my screen real fast. All right, and we got to remember those who listen in on the podcast sometimes can't see what we are looking at, but.
Always can't.
Tell me the origin, the origin story around LIV Fishing, right? What does LIV stand for? What's the story? How did it all get started?
Ooh, that's the fun part. So it used to be Live to Fish, number 2, right?
Oh, okay.
So that was the original name. We ran it for like a couple years, and then a guy, he had a company down in Florida. It went bankrupt. Okay, so it closed down. Well, he had the name trademarked, and then eventually he decided he wanted to bring back that company, right? So he technically had a trademark for it, but the company was abandoned technically, and it was for 3 years. So legally, like, there's some play with it. He wanted to start his stuff up again. So we were just like, you know what? We talked to him. We're like, you know what? Just do your thing, man. Like, I understand. It's not a big deal. So we just changed the name to LIV Fishing because we always had the LIV in the fish. That's always been the same thing.
Yeah.
So from a branding purpose, honestly, the LIV Fishing kind of just came out and worked out good. So we were like, all right, let's just use this.
You say we? You have a partner in this?
All right. I talk we as a team.
Okay.
So it's just I single only own LIV, and then Stick 5 rods, and then I have a partner for Boat Trip. We own that.
Oh, we'll get into that juice a little bit later in the show. Multiple business owner partnerships, but so LIV, why start a company like this?
Yeah, so growing up in the West Coast there, I worked a full-time job for years and years and years, and I fished so much, and I always saw products, but there's always like something I didn't like, to be honest. There's always something where I was like, we could do that a little bit better. We could change something here. And there's always problems where a lot of people want to make products over and over and over again, but are all the products actually solving a problem, So that's when we were like thinking, I was like, man, we just got to start coming out with products that just solve all the problems we can think of. And let's make a brand behind it, and let's start selling it and see what happens. And we started with the rod sleeves over 3.5 years ago. And there were the snag resistant rod sleeves, these ones.
I love these things.
And that's where it kind of started. I started small with this, with like 1,000 units out of a tiny home in the middle of Roy on a little tiny ranch, man, like a 300 square foot house in a loft of it. And I was packaging these on my knees and trying to make orders, dude. So it was definitely like the grind from the start. But luckily, before this, I owned a marketing company with a friend, and we understood how to run ads really well.
Right.
So we were able to jump into this and kind of scale it really fast, thankfully.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome. Tell me the problem that the rod sleeve solved.
So
because there's other rod sleeves on the market, right? Obviously, you got those Chinese finger trap ones that I owned, right? You could buy 100 of them for like $25.
Yeah. And that was where it started, right? So if you remember like 3.5, 4 years ago, you really never saw the snag resistant rod sleeves. You only saw the nylon ones.
Yeah.
And there was a couple brands that sold some of these, but they had issues. Everyone had a little bit of issue. Yeah, exactly. And the problem with those is those grab every hook you touch them with. Every single hook. And you just get screwed with it. It just pisses you off when you're putting it in your rod locker and it's like, so we were like, you know what? Let's come out with these ones and let's start selling. Let's make them look good. Let's make them clean. Let's solve the problem. And now we're saving time on the water with the snag resistant rod sleeves. Yeah.
And they float. So if you dropped it, they float. I have them. Now, what's a millimeter on the neoprene there?
2.
Awesome. Now, we had a small conversation months ago. I think some companies sell 3. All right, you can probably get these as thick as you want, but why the reason not to move into maybe a thicker neoprene?
So the reason why we didn't is because some of the guys that are using these are like trout rods. They're light drop shot rods. When you start throwing a 3 millimeter on there and you get a longer rod, that's a lot of weight that's actually weighing on the rod. And if you take a 3 millimeter neoprene rod safe and you take a really light drop shot rod or something, it's gonna bend like this. It's gonna bend a little bit. We just wanted to stay away from that as much as possible. So we went with the 2 millimeter, and it solves the same issue. They both float, right? They're both pretty much snag resistant, and just one's lighter now, you know?
Yeah. Any dreams or any like iterations of the rod sleeve? Because I have shorter rods, like 6'8", and I have ultralight rods. Is there anything in the future that might suit those needs?
Yeah, so right now our base size fits 6'10" to 7'6", and then we have an XL size from 7'6" to 8'2".
I have one of those.
We're gonna come out with
an American flag sleeve, by the way. So I have all American flag sleeves and a blue one for my swim bait rod.
Yeah, the flag one, man.
Easy to find.
I love the flag one. That's what I got on all my rods too.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
We're gonna come out with more size. We're gonna have some short ones, and then we're also gonna make a really big size for the saltwater guys because they keep asking. So we're like, let's solve the issue and make some bigger ones.
Yeah, and you partner with Mossy Oak, it looks like.
Yeah, yep.
I do a lot of traveling in my truck, carrying my rods in my passenger seat because I put the kayak in my bed of my truck, and I have still not purchased any of these. So when I pull my rods out, dude, if I don't wrap my line, which I do, but still somehow my line, I pull them out. I got like 8 rods that are all stuck together. This is in my future.
Yeah, and then when you're driving, it's like clink, 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 clink.
Yeah, I love it. Going down that, yeah. I reach over and I push them just a little bit so the vibration changes. I don't have to hear it. Yeah, you know exactly.
And a big part too is not for the kayak side, but for the rod lockers on the boats, man. It's a pain in the butt when you got the nylon ones. It will sit there, and you put one. If you got any treble hooks in there, you're screwed. It's gonna catch it unless you put a bait wrap on. It's gonna get it.
Yeah.
So it's like, man.
Yeah. So I always had I've always gone. I guess I had this thought. I always love putting the neoprene on because I'm now that I've evolved as an angler, I have more expensive gear. I have more expensive rods. My rods run anywhere from $150 to $250 a rod. And when these things bang up against each other, it freaks me out. And I was told by some anglers, and I've seen it myself, that when that happens, most people when they break a rod on like a hook set, they think they want to blame the rod, right? And I personally believe it's a lot of times because you have compromised the rod along the way. It might have been 2 weeks ago, but that little nick in that rod is going to be just like if you have a nick on a piece of a line, that's where it's going to break. That's where it's going to snap. Am I in the right lane of thinking here? Or has that been your experience too? Because I'm sure you come across a ton of people and have a lot of these stories.
Yeah, that's the thing is you never really notice when you do that little thing you're talking about. You put a little nick and you put a little crack in it, whatever it is. You're not going to notice it until you break the rod and you go, well, hell, I just broke my rod.
Yeah.
But in reality, what was it? I wonder, is that little hairline fracture that you put in there from whatever it is, it could have been banging around inside of your raw locker. It could have been in the back of your kayak there and they're smacking against each other. It just something.
Yeah. We got some people in the, we got a couple other people agree over here. I agree from Anthony Maccabee. I love it. Love my LIV sleeve. World's Worst Fishing. My man. Had him on the show before. That's awesome. Creek Crawler in the house tonight. Nice looking rod covers from Michael Laypath. This is great. All right. So this is exciting. In fact, you know what? Is this your most popular product that you have?
I think it's up there with pretty much everything's pretty tied.
Really?
Everything sells really well. Like
you guys are really freaking animals on TikTok. Animals.
Dude, we try to be competitive. We're just sitting there.
Competitive, freaking animal. I can't open up my TikTok. Literally, I'll post a TikTok, and as I'm waiting, as you post, they bring up something, and it's you. And I scroll up you, and I scroll up you, and I literally will scroll 7 times, and it's Matthew and his marketing brain just eating my feed alive. Animals. Yeah. You guys are doing
it gets annoying probably hearing my voice or Austin's voice. He does videos for us too. And
you do it faceless half the time, so I don't even know who it is.
because I don't want to be the ugly guy on there every time, man. Just in my face, you say, "You gotta buy this rod sleeve," you know.
I posted, and so do you get a lot of people saying that you look like somebody else? Because I've had I posted that this was tonight, and I had oh, he looks like this, and some other person, no, he looks like this person, and someone else no, he looks like this person. You get that a lot?
I get called Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think that was in there. Yeah.
Jimmy
G.
See that.
Yeah, shave it down a little bit, get a little tan, you know.
So good. So good. All right, real quick. Here, I'm gonna get this giveaway tools thing going. If you type LIV, L-I-V, in the comment section, L-I-V. If you type it in there, as you guys can see here, let me go ahead and you're gonna be put into the giveaway. So L-I-V in the comment section. We'll get this catch and chase. I got to take 10 minutes every derby morning to untangle my rods. Yeah, this is gonna solve your problems. All right. LIV. It's not showing any entries. What's going on? I'm seeing a lot of people type it in, but on the giveaway tool, all right, you guys have to give me a second. Let me try this again.
He's breaking stuff already.
I know.
Yeah.
LIV. Oh, there it is. All right. 22 entries. Now we're cruising. For some reason, it just wasn't. We'll give that a minute to
we have to retype it in there. Trying to win.
No, you don't. Nope. It showed everybody. You don't.
It's just
It doesn't.
Cuts half of them out of it.
So good.
So Matthew, have you ever gone down to Houston, Fish Lake Conroe?
I haven't yet, man. I want to because I got to get a couple good buddies that live right around there, and I'm just to be honest, since moving here, I haven't had a lot of fishing outside of the DFW area.
Yeah, 10 years ago, a little over almost 11 years ago, I moved to Texas to work on a pipeline, and I moved right to Lake Conroe, and I lived on a condo on the lake on Lake Conroe. That's where I met my wife. So my wife, she's from Texas. She's upstairs. We're in Florida right now. But when I moved there, I moved to a condo right on the water. I brought my bass boat, and I'm coming from the Northeast and these smaller lakes. And I put my boat on the water, and I'm like, oh, finally, I'm on a world-class bass fishery. And dude, when I would go out there, because we had bulkheads right by my apartment or condo, which was right on the water. Every single night, I would go out there and flip bulkheads in the dark with the lights, dude. Catching 7-8 pounders. It was the dream, man. I'm like, dude, this is the life right here. So anyway, I was just curious if you ever fished Conroe.
I think I just chalked it up, and I think I just suck at fishing in Texas. I think that's actually the issue. I knew what I was doing in the West Coast, but I think I'm just half retarded, to be honest.
How do people catch them in Texas? Is there a way?
Scoping.
It's just scoping deep water.
Scoping or flipping. And there is a couple lakes. If we go to, there's a new lake called Boys the Ark or Boat Ark.
Yeah.
I can go there and catch, 30 fish for 28 pounds, almost 30 pounds in there. You know what I mean? But, and for my best 5 for the day, we could do well there. But other than that, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Now, do you ever think to yourself, why did I start a fishing? It's what I always hear from people who start fishing businesses. I wish I wouldn't have, because now all I do is the business and I don't get to do fishing.
Yeah, I love it. I honestly, I worked, I did pipeline locating, power line locating, stuff like that for years. And I did the management side of that for 5 years. And I was building this brand, and then I was working on another brand. So I grinded away, and I was like, dude, I can't do this forever, working the day job. I really can't. I always felt like I was leaving something at the table of not being able to pursue more with my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I made really good money doing it too. And it was a good time. I learned a lot, but I was like, man, I just love building companies and building the vision, you know what I mean? And seeing where it goes. So now it's just, honestly, it's a hobby now for us to build these brands and kind of see them blow up. And it's really cool seeing people use our products everywhere.
Yeah, it is. Well, congratulations. Tip my hat to you. Awesome. All right, we have 42 people live. However, only 31 entries. So you got about 3 seconds before I hit this.
Type LIV.
I know. Type LIV. All right, and if you type it more than once, well, you can help yourself. However, it doesn't give you double entry, in case you're wondering. So, all right, let's get this party started. Let's go ahead and draw. You ready, Seth? The first winner of a $25 from My Philanthropy, aka Matthew's Philanthropy. Here we go.
Take people's money and then give it.
I know. I just take people's money, just give it away, and people love me for it. That's what I love doing, Matthew. Right there.
Yeah.
Michael S. Hoorah. There we go. Congrats, Michael. What I want you to do is write me an email to the email that's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Do a screenshot and kind of prove by a screenshot of like the back end of your YouTube. And so you can kind of show me like your full name and stuff like that. And I'll do cross check it. I was talking to Debo before I started using this tool, Seth, and he was telling me, hey, I used to do giveaways, and I'd show up to my email the next morning. There'd be like 5 people trying to claim that one giveaway. I was like, come on. I was like, how do you do it? It's like, you do this. But I also want to let everybody know, and I shared a little bit about this last week, but I used to be, as of a month ago, a professional fundraiser. So it was literally my job to find information out about some of the wealthiest people on the planet, typically the people who like to hide it from everybody else. And so I have so many tools to verify your identity. So don't try it. I'm going to figure it out. You're just going to frustrate me from spending time doing that crap. Anyways, congratulations, Michael. And thank you, Matthew. You want to do, let's roll another one. We're 30 minutes into the show.
Screw it.
Let's do it. You can't win twice. So go ahead and it's 50 live now. So real quick, if you just popped on, if you type in LIV, L-I-V, into the comment section, you will be entered into this giveaway. And you had 3 seconds to do it. So hopefully you guys made that happen. All right. And the winner is Granger.
Nice. He's from Florida.
Oh, is he? Right on, man. Congrats. And sorry, Matthew, you lost $50, but congratulations to everybody else. Yeah. He's like, this is the worst podcast ever. So far, I'm 30 minutes in. I'm $50 down.
$1 a minute.
All right. I love it. Let me stop sharing this. We'll tap back into some of the other items that you have.
Can we look at his page again? That page is like one of the cleanest pages.
Here we go. All right. Let's do a choose your own adventure, and we'll let Matthew choose that adventure. What product are you like the most proud of?
I go tackle storage.
All right. Here we go.
And then I'd say the easy bag the line bag. The line bag is.
Oh, I got one of those. I got 2 of them actually.
This thing it's pretty sweet, man, because on the market, there's nothing really like it. And in the fishing industry, that's almost impossible. Like, no matter what you do in the fishing industry, you're going to make a product and it's going to be like somebody else's. It's just how it is. And there's nothing wrong with that, because innovation is what creates the best products, right? So, but this is the bottom line for someone now to make product that's better than this bag, which is awesome if they do.
Yeah.
But it solves the issues that we have when we have a lot of fishing line, because most people are throwing them in bags. They're throwing them in tubs. And especially in your boat, we throw them in a tub and it's a pain in the ass, you know?
Yeah. Right. Oh, Seth is going to show us his smorgasbord. I hear it.
I got to get rid of this.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
Seth.
Look at that. Like, this is just like a straight bag for me all night. I got the rods. I got the line bags I need. I'm just going to be on LIV Fishing the rest of the night.
Dude, so this bag was like, I was sitting in my boat and my line was a mess. And I was like, I'm so freaking tired of this line being a mess. So I actually made the product for myself at first to see if I like it better. And then turns out it was a great bag. So then we just made a lot of them.
So you just made it up. Like, hey,
I sat there, I drew a pretty picture. It looked like a kindergarten made it. And then I talked to the manufacturers and I said, this is the idea and this is the plan. And then we came out with this bag.
Right on. I love it.
Yeah. And this was our first edition of it too. And usually almost all of our products go through 3 or 4 like makeovers over the years, because if we see comments on something, we always want to make it better. So if like people are messaging saying, hey, I wish your guys' dividers were thicker or something like that, we're going to sit there and we're going to determine if that's a good idea or not. We're going to do it. Yeah. Feedback is always the way to go.
I love it. So this is a newer product. I know this because you sent it to me. You sent me a couple of them. So thank you. And I just went down to Chad's actually in the comment section. I was down at KBF headquarters And Chad's like, here, take some of this line. So I have more line than I have bags for. So I'm going to get to the point where I have a mono bag, a fluoro bag, a couple braided bags. And so I'm jacked up about that. So the feedback you've been getting on this bag, I'm sure you just launched it about a month, 2 ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's the feedback? What's the iterations already going? What are you guys wrestling with right now that you're getting?
We had someone say, man, it's like a 1,500 yard spool doesn't fit. That was the biggest thing. And we're like,
1,500 yards.
Honest though, who's carrying around a 1,500 yard spool? Like most people, like the 1,000 ones, I get it. You know what I mean? I understand.
Backlash king.
And you could fit 3 1,000s in there, but they couldn't fit a 15. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but most of the bass fishing guys are not carrying around 1,500. And some are. I mean, I'm probably wrong, but So we can make a bigger one, you know?
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's funny. You're telling me you can actually carry this in your boat. I mean, as kayak anglers, we don't have room for this. So I actually use it just for organization because my garage, I have very limited space, and it's really nice to have it organized in this way. So right on.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Inside, you can like adjust the dividers to make sure that it's, you know, you fit your spools correctly. Other than that, though, we really haven't had any complaints, to be honest. It's kind of like one of those things where like we drop it and then we're like waiting for more feedback to come in, and it's like the feedback hasn't been bad, so we're like, all right, well, I guess we're keeping it.
Do you ever get to the point where you're like, hey, there's something I don't like about it?
Yeah, that's my problem usually. Actually, is
so when you look at this bag, you created it. What's the thing you're like? Okay, I want to
move that rubber in the middle up a little bit. So when you're top spooling, it pulls it up into the top of that rubber notch better.
Got it.
So but you almost can't because on the inside there's Velcro above it. So it's like we're trying to figure out another way to like move it up, but it's one of those things where like it's more like I'm just retarded and I just want to change it. But nobody's gonna sit there and complain about it. They're not gonna be like, it doesn't work, you know?
It works. I love it. I love that all your products are like selling almost equally. That actually kind of blows my mind. That's how that's taking place.
Yeah, it's honestly, I to be honest, where we're at right now, I'd never thought we'd get there. I just started it for fun to make, build something cool, and then where we're at now is it's insane. It's crazy.
What do you mean by where we're at now? And of course, you don't have to share some things. It is
just how big it's gotten and how many products we sell and how much people like their feedback of just how much they actually like the products and just everything. Like I was at the lake the other day. I was talking to a guy. He opens up his rod locker. It's all rod sleeves. Never met this guy in my life. Okay. It's all rod sleeves. I'm just like,
it's all yours?
Yeah, it's all ours. So many times now. I was on the highway the other day, and I'm going side by side with a boat, and I look over, and it's trolling motor sleeves, the LIV Fishing trolling motor sleeve.
Bro, that's so cool.
That's got to be super gratifying.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know that company. I know that guy.
I know that guy.
Awesome. Yeah,
So
I love it.
Yeah, I never thought I'd do that. That was the goal. Eventually, we got there, which is, it's a blessing, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be like listening to your own song on the radio or something. Like
there you go.
Yeah. And there's so many cool things we're gonna come out here within the next year. It's like
what?
Segue. Yeah.
It's a secret, man. It will one of the products will definitely be the best on the market by far. I've been working on this thing for a year now. Like it's gonna be good.
A lot of times we'll just continue to ask questions. So what I did as a professional fundraiser is get an answer out of the major donor who typically don't want to give you any information. I just ask the same question in 19 different angles and ways, and eventually I get the answer. We can do that now, or you can just tell us, Matthew.
I can't tell you. No, because I want to drop this product, right? And I already know there's going to be a bunch of ones that come out after it. They're going to be like, oh, that's actually a good idea. You know what I mean? So
how fast does that happen, by the way, in the industry? Like you drop something that's hot.
To be honest, in the fishing industry, like I said before, you almost will never be the first to do something. And if you are, that's awesome. But the whole fishing industry, it should be based on trying to make the best product you can and always make something better, right? So if someone makes our products, in the end, I'm happy that they came out with something better. Just make it better.
Yeah, just don't copy it.
If you make our product and make it worse, I'm going to be like, well, you didn't do that.
Then I'll come after you.
Like if you make it better, though, I mean, honestly, like, isn't that what it's about in the end, right? Like think about the crankbaits, how they started out, 50 years ago. They made great crankbaits, and then over the years they just keep getting better, and you're like, all right, well,
yeah. It's you remind me of crankbaits. I don't know if anybody in the comment section remembers this, but I have an egg carton that has big O lures, and there are a bunch of crankbaits sitting in the egg carton. You guys remember? I literally have the egg carton. I need to bring that out. Some OGs. I don't know how old those are. They look like from the, I don't know, 70s, 80s. Looks like
a good 3 times
man child. Yeah, right. So how do you stay inspired and ahead of the curve in such a competitive industry? And would you call it a competitive industry?
Oh, it's so competitive. It
really
super? Is.
Yeah. And what's your edge then?
I mean, the biggest thing for
TikTok?
us is I think our biggest thing is we actually really enjoy it, and we don't really sit there and try to chase a number. We're more just trying to do it out of what we want to do. So it's like, I'm out fishing, I see a problem, I want to fix it and make a product behind it. I'm not sitting there going, man, this is going to make so much money. It's more like, hey, let's just make a cool product and let's fix this problem, and then let's see how it does. And if it does well, we're like, oh, that's cool. All right, that's great. On to the next one. You know what I mean?
Look at you.
So
living the dream right there.
Yeah.
My brain has a hard time wrapping my head around that. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm happy that you were there and succeeding in that realm, but I come from a fundraising where it's, what have you done for me lately? That has been my life for the past 16 years. Oh, it's great, Daren. You just closed a $500,000 gift. That was yesterday. What about today? And so my mind works in the world of numbers and exceeding and perform and metrics and KPIs. And so I love that you can make that happen for yourself, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's like I said, now, like I've made enough like money aside from all of our companies we've started and done stuff. Like I've done well enough for it. It's like, that's not the motivation at all behind it, to be honest. I mean, I kind of wish it was, because then I can go have fun and stuff, but in reality, like I don't do anything besides work and then fish a little bit and work out, and the money just stays in the company, and I just put it more towards making more products. It's like, we'll see where it goes in the future.
Okay.
You can see everything keeps getting sold out, and that's a problem too.
Yes. Well, that is true. We got you're sold out of all your tackle packs, or at least your 6-packs.
These are the new ones we just dropped,
right?
And people love them. They're the most durable tackle pack on the market by far. It's the back of it's a tarpaulin material, and it just doesn't stretch out over time. It's a puncture resistant material too. It doesn't it's just really nice material.
Yeah, I got lures packed in it, ready to go down to AEP this weekend. Also, I think I texted you a photo. I was like, hey, this is great for cigars on the go as well. Like 7 or 8 in there. Let's keep humidity for a couple days. Yeah. I love it. All right. Walk us through. We talked about the tackle bags. What is something else don't you guys do like merchandise, like merch, like hoodies and shirts and all that stuff?
Yeah, we do clothing. It's probably all sold out, to be honest. All of our clothing always gets sold out. Yeah, if you go to the very top of the page.
Yeah, there we go.
Apparel. Go to apparel, and then all apparel.
Yeah. All right, check this out.
Who's that dude?
Who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
Just me working out over here.
Trying, man, just trying.
Sold out.
Yeah,
sold out.
If you click any of these products, they're probably 99% sold out, besides like a small or something.
So they might say you have them, but when you go to the sizes that normal humans wear, large, extra large, they're all sold out. Yeah. Congrats.
I mean, it's good, but it's bad.
It is bad, because I wanted one like 3 months ago, and you're like, I'm sold out, man. We're getting them in. And
we'll have them for Christmas. How about that?
Christmas? Holy crap. I'm just going to steal them from your booth at iCast. That's what I plan on doing.
No, we're not setting a booth up. No booth.
Oh, you're just walking around.
Yep.
Perfect.
We just go to have fun, to be honest. We don't do shows for LIV because it's too much work, to be honest. Like, we got to be like, we got to move everything there. We got to set up the booth and stuff. And it's like, we got to have the payroll and all that to do it. I'm like, you got to remember, like, it's cool for like dealers and getting into like, those stores and stuff like that. But we don't sell to stores usually. We're going to start selling to stores soon, but we don't right now.
You do direct to consumer.
Yep.
And you said you don't right now. You plan on ever doing stores, or is it just pain in the butt?
2 months from now, we're gonna actually be accepting almost all of our dealers. So if you
get pre-orders,
anything like that, you can reach out on the bottom of the website that says become dealer. You can scroll down and probably see it, but you become a dealer and you can start selling the LIV stuff, and it will almost guarantee you sell. So, and if you put in all this information in 2 months, 3 months, you can become a dealer.
Wow.
Yeah,
There you have it, folks. There you have
we're getting
it.
serious.
Chet said hoodies for July. Yeah, I'm like wearing hoodies this morning. It's like cold. It was 40 degrees this past week.
We got a lot of t-shirts coming. Those will be here in like 2 weeks.
See, now I'm talking. Got to get some of those. I got to rep. I love repping the companies I support. So love it. Yeah, and I'm going to Alaska. Not Alaska. I'm going to Vancouver Island. Going to Canada, Chad. Need some hoodies. Oh my goodness. All right, what else?
In the boat, man. Boat accessories.
Boat accessories?
Yeah, I need some power pole covers for my kayak.
Yeah, they make talons now for those. You know that, right? You've seen those?
Dude, I wish I would have had those back in the day when I had my Bass Cat with my power poles.
Oh yeah,
those looks.
If you want to see what Seth looks like years ago in his Bass Cat, he has some videos on his YouTube channel from.
I was before my time, like 10 years ago. I was flying a drone by myself. I would get on a bass on a bed. I'd fly my drone out, start recording, and then catch that bass. Like 10 years ago, that was pretty in front of my time back then.
Yeah,
his title game was on point too. Because that video he
I was
just
doing it
shared
for the
with
love
you,
of the game, not the views. Darren.
He would have called it "Drone on Bass Bed Shot Part 1."
Hey, they would have known what the video was about. All right, they would have known that they were.
Did you put "Watch It Please" right in the title?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he probably put like sub for sub back then as well.
Alligator.
Watch it now.
Watch it now. I'll sub to you if you sub me. It's like 140 characters. Yeah.
Sub.
Easy now.
Follow.
All right. Sorry, we got off track there. I actually have these trolling motor sleeves on my kayak because all the motor cords I've noticed over the years fade away. Whenever cords fade away, they get brittle. And I was like, well, I'm going to cover these suckers up with some of these trolling motor sleeves. So that's what I did. I like them. Makes it clean.
And I'm gonna say this too.
Yep.
I don't care any company out there. I got something in my eye over here. Neoprene fades. Okay. No matter what you do, if you put anything in the Texas sun or the Florida sun, it's gonna fade. So the point of the products is to protect. It looks great, but eventually everything fades. I would love to make a product that doesn't fade. I tried for years now. And I'm going to tell you now, things fade. So that's one thing you'll hear sometimes people be like, oh, my outboard motor sleeve or trolling motor sleeve fade. It's going to happen. Welcome to anything. You put anything.
Welcome to UV rays. Congratulations. Your hot tub already knows what they are.
Yeah. And
your car. And
if the brighter the color, the faster it fades. That's just
so. Question: being that you own Boat Drip and that's kind of like sun protected, is there a way to if you spray this down every couple months with a certain product, will it keep its color or still no go?
Yeah, it will definitely keep its color better. If you actually use a UV protectant on neoprene and stuff like that, it will keep its color better. And I tested that quite a bit. And we even thought about making a Boat Drip product just for UV protectant to sell with it, or even give it with whatever product we sell, like a small bottle,
like a small bottle, a little spray bottle. Yeah.
Because we make this stuff right at the same warehouse. The Boat Drip we pour it in house. So
nice. Yeah. We'll get to that in just a minute. All right. Actually, you know what we'll do right now? We're not. Oh, I don't want. I want to stop this. Stop it. Sorry, I'm doing another draw over here. I need to stop the draw. Say, what were you gonna say, Seth?
I just wanted everyone to see that for the record.
What was that?
Seth was cool before he was cool. Just want everyone to know that. All right, keep going. Sorry.
Sub for sub.
I'm gonna get this. The YouTube algorithm is gonna pick up what we're talking about, and they're gonna cancel this channel, and I'm gonna lose my livelihood. And then you're gonna have to hire me, Matthew. All right.
Yeah. All right.
What else we got on this page you want to talk about?
I mean, you saw most of it. I mean, everything else is kind of just there, The way bags, those way bags are bulletproof, by the way. It don't matter for the kayak guys as much, but those way bags, I took this thing. You know how we tested it? I beat it with the baseball bat, and then I took it up to the bed of the truck, and I drove around whipping it around the parking lot.
I sell it because your feed lives rent free in my head. I don't know why. Just they love it.
Yeah,
So good.
it's not a normal weigh bag. We made it freaking bulletproof, man. If a fish breaks this, I'll be very ashamed.
All right.
Dream
Challenge accepted.
I like it.
So good.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
let's move on. That's business number one. Any other things you want to talk about LIV Fishing outside of head over to livefishing.co. If you know someone who wants to be a dealer, you can do that.
Need a live scope transducer cover.
They have one.
60.
We actually we were making one, and then we decided we need to change some stuff.
Gotcha.
So
let's see.
It
Keep him talking.
Good,
he lets things out of the bag.
Yeah.
Just keep him talking.
We had it for a while, and it did its job, but everybody's on the market looked the exact same. So it's like making a different style one is hard. So we're trying to come up with like a really unique design, but it's like on my priority list. I'm like,
yeah, understood.
So you can't tease any upcoming releases. And I actually know one of them, and I can't say it, so it's killing me right now.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty excited about it, so I will keep my mouth shut. Is there any interesting collaborations in the future?
I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I tend not to think more than like 3 weeks out because I get overwhelmed. So
you're living the dream. You're like,
if something comes into my head, man, I'm just like, oh, all right.
He's like, I don't care about making money on products. Want to make good products. Boom, it blows up. I don't think anything more than 3 weeks out. Matthew, you're living everyone. Yeah, we just want to live your life right now.
Man, it's
Logan. Just grab some gear.
I'm extremely blessed by how everything turned out. To be honest, like I can't be more thankful for how everything is actually panned out. It was a vision for so long, and so much work went into it. I'd wake up working a full-time job, come home, and then work till 1 a.m. on this, and then restart the day. And I did it 7 days a week for years. I didn't do nothing, absolutely nothing outside of working. So when it comes to like people understand they want to build businesses and stuff like that, and what it actually really takes, if you want to make it, and actually it has to be your life. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to do a work and life balance. No, it was straight work, only work, it's like, that's it. And eventually it pays off. It just takes a long time.
Yeah. I love it. That's awesome. I feel like a lot of people will listen in, or they even see content creators to some degree, where like, oh, overnight success. And it sounds like one when you talk on a period of, 50 minutes on a podcast. And there's an old saying, it only took me 5 years to be an overnight success type of thing. Yeah. And so it's the 4 years, and that's how long it took for me to go full time. And I'm still not there yet. I still worry about all the things that Matthew doesn't worry about right now. But and I love it. But 4 years, I get off work, and then you work, and you work until 1 a.m. Then you get up in the morning, and you work again before you go to your other work, and then you get off that work, and then you go to work again. And that's the life until eventually you see a light at the end of the tunnel. And you're like, all right, I'm now a little bit closer to my dreams. And so, congratulations. Let's switch gears here a little bit, because we got 2 more companies. One, do you co-own both of them? Is that what you said at the beginning?
We own Stick 5 rods. I own Stick 5 rods by myself. Yeah, you can just click that too. These rods are made in Arkansas, and they're proprietary rod blank there. No one else has this blank. We designed it, and we actually took this company over from another older gentleman over in Arkansas.
Okay.
Who helped design these rods for years and years. Now, there's a lot of work that went behind making these rods, because they're not just a typical, here's a blank, and the other million companies here in the U.S. use the same blank. It's not that.
Is that what happens, by the way? That's the secrets of the fishing industry. There's only
making a normal rod, like a Temple Fork, what is it, their TFO blank or whatever.
Yeah.
And some of these other ones, everybody uses them, which they're great blanks. You can't complain about the blanks. They're great rods. Like it's just it's hard to beat. But there are certain things we wanted to change with this, and that's why we fell in love with the blanks, because the tips on these rods have a little bit more action than a typical rod. They really do. So a lot of people just love the way they cast, the way they feel. And a jig rod weighs like nothing, man. It's so light of a rod. It's crazy.
Okay. I like that, because I have some jig rods, and I just caught a nice 6-pounder here in Ohio on a jig rod recently. Just yesterday, actually. And they're heavy, and it gets tiring.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The rods are just. If I knew the exact weights to tell you, I would. But I'm not going to bullshit them.
Yeah.
So, but we compared them to a lot of rods in the market, and they are definitely lighter than pretty much every rod. Like our 7-Eleven punch rod there is so light of a rod, it's ridiculous. You would think you'd freaking break it, but it works great.
So what is, like, I'm looking at this, you guys looking in, we see a picture of it, and there's a few things here. Okay. What's GBT 13? What's that telling? That's the type of blank.
Yeah.
Got it. Any like, is that like code for something, or is it just?
No, that's just like in the standard of the industry of blanks.
Got it.
So there's different GBTs and stuff like that.
AAA grade cork, it's top of the line. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Fuji seat. Nice. And wind grip on the butt. Awesome.
Yeah. They're good. I mean, people like them. They always sell out. If you go down there, probably.
Oh, sold out. All right. Sounds like there's some sleep for you tonight. You have to put these things together. So you just took this company over. Was it like a group of people that you took the company over, or just like now it's yours and you're kind of doing all the work in the back end and getting it all?
So the story was basically in Arkansas, there's an old gentleman named Gendry. He passed away in a boat accident. He was building this company with a couple friends, and his buddy took over. Really, really good guys. And he took over, but it was becoming a lot. It was growing so fast. And he had a lot of other issues on the side that he was taking care of, and a lot of stuff he wanted to focus on.
Yeah.
So I was using these rods, and I just loved them. You know what I mean?
How'd you learn about them?
So that's when I was like, you know what? Let's give an offer for this company, and let's run it. Let's build it ourselves, and let's add it onto our pile, because these blanks, it takes years to come out with a rod that's actually unique. It's not that hard to come out with just another rod. It really isn't. But to come out with something unique, it takes time. It takes testing. These guys spent years coming up with these things.
How'd you get your hands on one? Like, how'd you originally learn about these guys in Arkansas?
Yeah, so I had a buddy named Chad, and he hooked me up with some of the rods. And I talked to the owner. I was like, hey, I want to try some more of these rods. So he gave me a good deal on them, tested them out, used them for the year. And pretty much everybody at our warehouse was like, oh, these rods are sick. These are freaking amazing rods. So they honestly sold their, like, I used all G Lumens for my whole life. And a couple of the other guys at the warehouse, they use, St. Croix, some use Alpha Wrangler rods and stuff like that. All great rods, but these ones just feel different in your hand. They're just the way they feel. They're amazing. And they got killer warranties on them. There's $100 replacement for any rod. So break it, replace it.
Yeah.
And it made in America. So made it right there in Arkansas.
Love it. There's Caro said, Arkansas, where can I get my hands on one besides ordering? Can you like roll up to the shop and grab one?
Yeah, there's Trader Bill's has Gelco. I'm not familiar with all the names on it, but there's quite a bit of stores. If you actually, there might be a map. I don't know. Actually, no, there's not. I don't know. But yeah, if you look at most of the stores and you call them, they should have them in Arkansas.
Matthew, we got to talk offline. I need to get my hands on a couple of these. I got to try them out.
I'll get you hooked up.
I'm looking forward to it.
As long as you don't break our stuff, it's okay.
I'm not going to break it.
He's vicious with this.
It's crazy you're hitting some of these items. This is another item that's on my list of upgrading in my arsenal. I just went out to Dale Hollow and used a $60 rod and reel combo, the old Jordan Lee, Abu Garcia, to get a second place in that massive event. So like I need to elevate my they work, man. I have like 10 of them. I have other good rods too, but those are just like a medium heavy utility rod that does decent. But I need to upgrade my game. So
we want to come out with another rod that's around that like $180 price range. But making an American-made rod with the components this has, it's expensive to make a rod like this. It's not cheap. Like people think it's like, oh, here's a $30 rod. I wish it was a $30 rod. I wish, you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't need a $30 rod. I'm saying I need to upgrade my game to better products. I don't need to be using that stuff when a lot of money's on the line.
They'll be like, oh, that's a $250 rod, a $300 rod. It's like, guys, they're not cheap to make. A good rod is not cheap to make. Like,
what makes a rod cheap? And what makes a rod expensive? What I think, because I think the issue that a lot of people have is they see a rod as a rod as a rod. I've used an ugly stick and I can catch just as many fish as you can. I've heard it a million times. I'm sure you have as well. And so I've actually done videos on this, the difference between a $60 rod and a $250 rod. And a lot of it's components. But if you had to share in 30 seconds, what makes a rod like this expensive and better for an angler?
Yeah, and a lot of it comes down to the components. So if you actually want to use the top line components, like a AAA Portuguese cork, that's not cheap. That one component is very expensive compared to a single grade, because that's going to over time crack. It's going to piece out. You'll see the chunks coming out. So right there, you could change that to a single grade cork.
Okay.
I mean, you'll think it's the same, but after a year, you're going to be like, what the hell? Why is it chipping out of itself? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's supposed to be built to last. Same thing with your rod eyes. If you're going to use Fuji, of course they're going to last long. I mean, that's a staple in the industry with the zirconium inserts inside of those. They're always going to stay good. They have a brand name behind it that actually keeps it a good rod. Unlike if you use some like China import piece, you're going to be using braided by the end of the year, and you're like, oh wow, my insert's gone again. And it's like, all right, you know what I mean? So all these components come together, and it really makes the rod. And not just that, it's a lot of the money behind it's also how long and how much work went into making that blank itself. So there's a lot of time and effort that just goes behind doing that, and you're kind of have to make money back from all that time. So, and it's expensive to make, get the dowels made and all that stuff. If they have to design each piece, it's expensive, man.
I think there's an education, like just people don't understand, like, how do you make a rod? Like, but I'd ask 90% of the people in the comment section probably wouldn't know what goes into in the process for making a rod. So I think that'd be interesting. Chad actually used to own a rod company. So he said rolling the blank in the United States is also expensive too.
And ours is hand rolled right there in Arkansas, and it's not cheap, man. I would love to get the blanks from China and go, all right, let's cut the price $100. We can't do that. Sorry.
So how long? This is interesting. So from start to finish, you're gonna make one rod, put it all together, roll the blank. How long would it take to put together like a rod like this?
I don't know. Chad probably knows more about that, honestly. Chad Hoover. I let my manufacturers do their thing, and they just do their thing.
There you go. I love it. All right,
it depends on equipment they have too. If they have the machinery for it all, and they have the right amount of people, actually doing every piece of the rod, then it's not too bad.
Chad said 3 days. Half the time when Chad says something, I'm not quite sure if he's joking, making fun of me, cracking a joke. So it's hard. It was in the comment section. Usually his first response to me is making fun of me for something I said, and then it's the actual real answer. So I love it. All right, let's switch over to Boat Drip. I got some of this stuff out in my garage. So let me hear.
Please tell me
it's actually go to the website of Boat Drip.
All right, what is it?
You able to do that?
Boatdrip.com?
.co. We're not cool enough to have .com.
Yeah, it cost you $10,000 for Boat Drip.
Probably.
I did .co. I almost got in trouble there.
No, see, but .com, man.
No, I was afraid what was going to come up.
Oh boy.
I was like, oh geez, what did I do?
Boat Drip.
All right, walk us through your third company. And real quick, do you have like more companies you're like getting ready to roll out? I'm curious.
Yeah, we have.
Do you for real?
Yeah, we have a tungsten company that drops here in like a month, and then it's going to be the most affordable tungsten on the market. By the way, we're going to try to beat everybody's price there is. And it's called bulk tungsten.
Whoa, you guys spent focus group hours on that one, didn't you?
Yeah. Bulk tungsten. You won't even guess what the logo is. It's just a B.
Yeah.
It's just a big B. And it's our whole goal is just to sell it for dirt cheap. All the tungsten, it's just normal tungsten, like anybody else can get, exact same brands as everybody on the market. And we're gonna sell all of it, but you have to buy a minimum of 10 pieces per size. So that's the only kicker. So you buy 10 pieces per size, the price is gonna be dirt cheap though. It's gonna beat everybody by a lot. So, because tungsten is way overpriced, and I'm tired of paying overpriced tungsten. I can't stand it. And
okay, why then?
Because it's all the same stuff, man.
Everyone gets the same.
It's all jacked up.
Same manufacturers. It's the same designs. There is no difference. Besides, sometimes there's no difference. But this guy's charging $9, and this guy's charging $4. Like, what the hell's what's the difference?
That's amazing. That's the problem you're solving.
So
exactly. It's like I'm tired of buying tungsten that's overpriced. That was the problem. And we're at the warehouse And the other day we're fishing boat arc and it broke off like 10 times. And I'm like, well, there goes $20. Yeah. It's like,
That's
dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
So interesting.
So bulk tungsten, and now, like I said, about a month we're out. We already have all the tungsten for the flipping side ready to go. I just have to build a website.
Okay. Well, you've done that a few times before.
Yeah.
Bulktungsten.co.
Yep.
All right, solving the problem. Hey, everybody.
Solving the problem.
Now you know if you love tungsten, where to get it. Yeah, I didn't realize this. I was doing a video recently, and lead, there are some states that actually restrict and ban the use and sale of lead. And like some of the New England states, California is one of them, where you can't buy it in the state sometimes. Sometimes you can't use it under a half ounce. It's really interesting. And so I wonder if, because what ends up happening is that, birds go down, they gobble it up, they get lead poisoning, blah, 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 bad for the environment. All things I agree. I'm not making fun of. I agree with it. But I'm curious, do you think that's going to continue to get more stringent as the years go on?
Depends how more liberal the states get, but
yeah. All right.
I'm sure Washington will be like, no lead. And then
no lead, no fishing, no nothing.
During COVID, they closed down fishing in Washington.
What?
You were not allowed to go on the lake fishing at all.
Yeah, I'm sure that went over really well.
They held it out, and the co-owner of this, Austin, with Boat Trip, was out on the lake, and a game warden stopped them and told them to get off the lake.
Which he got off the lake and just went to another lake.
They lived on the lake, so his other buddy lived on the lake, so they just went right back to their dock. But isn't that ridiculous? You're gonna get COVID out in the middle of the lake.
Give the fish COVID. No.
Yeah, they closed the beach in Florida. I was supposed to go on a trip down there, and they closed like 2 days before. And I was like, I'm not going. What the hell is there to do now?
That's rough. Dude.
They closed the beaches in Florida as well.
Ridiculous.
Ludicrous. All right, sorry, we got off track here. Boat Trip, and then we're gonna land this plane after we talk about Boat Trip a little bit. It's all right. We're already an hour. This has been fun. I like it.
We're on a roll.
I know. And then we're gonna give away some more of Matthew's money, so we'll do that toward the end. So I like it. So let me see. Do I have this going? I'm gonna start collecting comments. Let's do Liv again. All right, Liv. Go ahead and hit Liv into the comment section, and I'll have that kind of add up. Right now, we're already at 11 entries. So even if you did it before, go ahead and comment again just to make sure it gets put into this giveaway. So that's working in the background. Throw in LIV. All right, Boat Drip. Let me go ahead and hop through. Let me scroll down a little bit. What we got here? Shop, all products. All right, so you got Restore, Deck Cleaner, Exterior, Interior. I have Deck Cleaner and Exterior. I do not have Interior or Restore. And I need to get my hands on some Restore because I think that's
Restore.
Go ahead.
That's like the game changer one, to be honest. So Exterior, of course, is the best seller because everybody wants to keep everything clean. The Restore, though, it's like if you got that faded plastic, you got anything that just lost its color or want to protect it with UV, Restore is the one that does that. And
so
your ads from that a lot, using them like trailers to freaking every vinyl on your boat and everything like that.
I need to get some of that stuff from you. Is there obviously great for kayaks, right? Polyethylene be perfect for that. Is that hard to keep in stock?
Yeah, I think the gallons are sold out right now.
Really? The gallons?
Yeah, scroll down, you'll probably see.
Through the branding, the name of it is fantastic.
See, we had to stop selling the gallons because people were buying too many of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we were running out of liquid way quicker.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, there's a screw up right here. You don't look at that. It's all bad right there.
Where?
It kept duplicating for some reason. So yeah, there's like 3.
Oh, yeah, you got to fix that. That's,
Oh, yeah. It's
awful.
Terrible. Terrible. He's going to be up to 1 a.m. tonight. Just
yeah,
don't look at it. Yeah,
so I use a competitor. I've used it for years, loved it, because when I first got my hot tub 6-7 years ago, the guys who installed my hot tub was like, hey, you got to use Aerospace to row 3. And I was like, sweet, man, it works, but it is uber expensive. And so what makes a really great like restorative product, UV ray resistant, keeps it from cracking, keeps it from fading? And how does Boat Drip stand up against the Armor Alls and the 303s of the world?
Well, so 303 actually makes really good products, and Armor All makes great products. The one thing is they're always oil based. So if you use, for example, on your trailer, let's say if you have a trailer for that, that Rhino Line trailer stuff, like it's kind of like gritty and it fades over time.
Black. Yeah.
If you use Armor All on that or a lot of those other products, and you go step on it and you go step on your carpet, it's going to leave a black mark on your carpet.
Oh, really?
It is oil-based and it will collect dust worse than you can imagine. And on top of that, it just comes off a lot easier. So the best one to use is a silicone-based product for that. But there's other stuff that's mixed inside of it to make sure it actually lasts. And when you use this on your trailer and stuff, it's not going to just wash off right when you're done. I kid you not, you can go in and out of the lake, and it's just going to stay on there for a long time. This stuff, you will get dust on it. Let's just say you get dust on your trailer or whatever, and you go to wash your trailer off or dip back in the water, it's going to look brand new again. It lasts months at a time. So, and people are always like, oh, you put it in the lake, it's going to be gone. That's not how it works. If we did that, then it wouldn't be such a successful product. You know what I mean? So now when it comes down to your actual boat cleaners, now on the market, there is a handful of boat cleaners, right? You got hot sauce, you got boat juice, you got babes, you got there's a bunch, you know what I mean? There's a handful of them.
Yeah.
Each one of them has a problem that we wanted to figure out. And no matter what product you make, there's always gonna be something, right? So our goal, and I'll tell you, I won't sit there and tell you a problem that we find in each product, but I'll tell you what our goal was with the product. And that is to build a water spot remover that actually leaves a high gloss sealant that keeps water spots from forming as bad in the future. That's the pitch, right?
Okay.
So you can remove water spots all day long, but is it just going to come back right when you put it in the water or get wet again?
Yeah.
So our goal was to build a product with more ceramic sealant inside of it so that it actually creates a protective layer over the glass and make sure the water spots don't form as bad. So over time, it's not going to form as bad.
Oh, I get it.
Nice.
So
Someone had a question here. Can it be used on personal vehicles as well?
Yeah, definitely. My truck looks minty with it, by the way. I make sure I go through a lot of it just cleaning my truck. I'll do my wheel wells with Restore and my seats and my dashes and everything with it.
That's where all the gallons went, Daren.
I think it's funny that people are buying. Not funny. I think it's awesome that people are buying gallons.
Dude,
like we had to take it off the website so we can actually sell.
They're buying it all and they're using all of our liquid, man. We're on the scaling phase right now, and because we sell out so much, man. And we buy so much liquid, and it's created in California, and it comes to us. We have to bottle it. And the problem is we buy more and more and more. You know what happens? Demand keeps going up, up, and up. So complain or not complain, we keep running out and people keep buying all the gallons, and that's fine. They buy the bottle the first time, and then they just keep refilling with the gallons. It makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
So
I actually do that with the 303. I have a gallon. It's almost gone, but now I'm like, okay, I need to try out the Restore. I need to check it out.
It smells like cherries too.
Oh, come on.
So
whenever I snuggle with my kayak at night. That's good. Jared Booth had a question. I have a feeling I know the answer is probably no, but I got to ask it. We'll see what happens. Would Restore bring back the color of a slightly faded kayak? I would imagine no.
It'll make your color pop a little bit more, but it's not going to fix a broken thing. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
you're not going to you can only bring it back so much on that kind of material because a plastic faded like that is different than like your trailer Rhino Line faded. Yeah. Now, I have seen someone use it on their kayak in a part that was a darker. It was like a green and like a black color, and they did use it on it, and it looked way better. It did look way better.
Well, Chad says catch your kayak on fire. There you go. Then you could protect it with Restore afterwards. You ever see those videos of where they take like chairs and it will bring the color back because it melted it? I've actually, I think I've done that on like my mailbox and stuff before. It's like, oh, that actually works. Preston's calling for a kayak giveaway. It was last week. I didn't see it last week. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's called flashing it. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Chad is a plastic engineer. 100%. Well, he's been fixing kayaks for a very long time. All right, let's do I got some rapid fire questions for you, Matthew, and so close out our time together. All right. So these are like just You can answer them. You can real quickly. You can add a little context if you want. Here we go. You ready?
Ready.
Spinnerbait or chatterbait?
Chatterbait.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite kind?
Jackhammer.
I just got done doing a video.
Hard
Jackhammer's
to
number one.
beat.
It is hard to beat. They're so expensive. I was explaining in this video that, hey, they're expensive for a reason. They freaking work. Have you tried the baby jack yet?
I haven't actually. I can't catch fish anyway, so it's like
might as well spend the money and have a baby.
I can
jack.
try it all day, and I'm not gonna catch anything, and then I'm gonna go, this doesn't work.
I've never actually purchased a baby jack myself. However, I've lost 3 of them. Thank you, Chad Hoover, for underwriting that experience. I was down there. I think I cost him $60. I put one into a beaver tail. I posted that video today. I hooked it into a beaver tail. Thought I had a log, and it started taking off. And I was like, "Oh crap! What am I going to do?" And eventually, it popped off. I must have not got him in the skin or something. Must have got him in the tail because he didn't seem too interested.
That's right there, right?
I know. I love it. All right. One fishing spot in the world you haven't been to, but you want to visit before you die.
I want to go out to the fishing spot like worldwide.
Sure, anywhere.
Yeah, I want to go fly fish those rivers for those giant brown trout in like Australia and New Zealand and stuff. You seen that stuff? Like those giant ones they're catching in those creeks and rivers. I think that'd be fun, man.
It would be fun.
I thought you were going to say OHIV or something.
I can drive right there.
OHIO is what.
No, not
what most people say.
No.
That's what most people.
No, that's not what
Amazon
everybody. Caribbean and Midwest. Do we got big brown trout over here in Ohio?
No, yeah, it's not the same, bro. Those things are huge up there. They're massive trout. They're like,
how big are we talking about?
If I said an exact weight, I'd be lying. So I don't know, but they're big. They're big.
They're big. No one, Daren. No one says Ohio. Yeah, y'all need to. Y'all need to calm down. First fish you ever caught? Do you remember it?
Ooh, it was probably a freaking bluegill or something when I was like 2 years old.
Don't remember who was
perch. We did a lot of perch fishing back in Washington.
Okay. Seth, how about you? First fish you ever caught?
Yeah, it's probably a bluegill as well.
I love these. Probably you guys
like the childhood fish.
No clue. You don't have like that quintessential photo of you and your dad or someone with the
no. I mean, when you come out of the womb catching fish, man, it's hard to remember.
Yeah.
So
you were just getting roasted on social media for catching that bass out your pond and showing it to your kids, Seth, weren't you?
I stocked the pond behind my house, like a 2-acre pond, brand new pond. I stock it with bass that I caught in public bodies of water, and then I catch them and I make a video like with my kids catching them, and I get roasted on Instagram. It gets like 700,000 views. Oh, catch it in a real lake. Don't catch it in a pond. Doesn't count if it's in a pond. I'm like.
He's like, this kid's fishing.
Yeah, he's literally showing his like daughters. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You'll get hate no matter what you do. You just got to get used to it. Just like
I love it. I eat it up. Maybe not as much as Chad Hoover, but I eat it up. I love it.
Lunch.
Yeah. It took me a while to get used to it too, man. There's always gonna be hate out there. You're just like, yeah. Usually, you take advice from someone you want to trade places with. Don't take advice from the people that are below you. I mean, it's like,
dude, it's funny. It's funny because they don't even know. Like, it's that particular. I mean, I get hate on everything, just like everyone else does. But that particular video is they're busting on me for catching it in a pond that's stocked, and I'm like, yeah, I stocked it from fish I caught.
They're my fish.
They're my fish.
I just caught it again for my kids.
Anyway,
oh my gosh.
So hate equals free engagement, right there. Exactly.
That's right, dude. Yeah.
I like this little comment thing going on that StreamYard brought in where you can actually see the comments on the page. It's kind of fun. I like it.
Fancy.
Now, I was talking to Seth. If you're a content creator and you start getting hate, it's when you go weeks and weeks and months and you don't get any hate. Sorry, the algorithm is no longer putting you in front of new audiences. So that is not a good sign. And I remember when I first started out content creating, that stuff kind of hurt. It stung. Some of the stuff that people said. Now I just kind of laugh. It's like, you're just paying my bills now. Keep it up. And when people get in arguments on a post, I have a post right now that has over 1 million views. I've had 3 of them in the past 3 weeks go over 1 million on Facebook. It's crazy. And just people in there just infighting. And I'm just seeing dollar signs. These guys, I mean, I literally is like a comedy show. I was like, oh my gosh, people calling each other names and like threatening each other. I was like, what is going
People
on?
do that on our ads. They'll be like,
oh yeah,
what do you need fishing line in a bag for like that? And the next guy goes, clearly you don't fish. And then the next guy's like, at least I have a boat. And the other guy's like, you suck at fishing. You're like, all right, well,
engagement.
It's like 70-year-old dudes just sitting on there, probably don't even fish at all. And they're just sitting there arguing. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Just, oh my gosh.
I see all the comments too. I look at every comment on any ad. I look at it. So
do you delete some or you just let them roll?
I just let them roll. They start arguing. I'm like, go for it.
Yeah. It's like the algorithm's all it's thinking is, oh, this must be a pretty sweet piece of engagement content. We'll keep on throwing it out to more people. Love it. Bucket list species you have yet to land.
The wait, what?
Bucket list species. I know I kind of switched gears on you there. Sorry. Bucket list species you have yet to land, but one, two.
Tarpon.
Oh yeah.
I want to fly fish for one of those suckers.
You're like down there. Just take a little quick drive.
Dude, those things are running down here in Florida.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Seth's now and catch them. I'll be there here in a couple weeks. There you go.
Where are you going?
No, that's July.
St. Petersburg and then Orlando for the ICAST.
Yeah, St. Pete. I live right south of St. Pete, like 30 minutes.
All right, I'll be there July 4th. We're gonna go catch some freaking tarpon, man.
Hit me up. I'll be around.
All right, perfect.
Don't threaten Seth with a good time.
Yeah, I'll go, dude. I'm down.
All right, PB bass.
Yeah, we can do that.
Personal best?
What? Personal best what?
Bass.
Tarpon.
No. 1 ounce under 8 pounds for largie, and then a couple sixes for smallies.
Okay. Nice. Is
Nothing
that
crazy,
in Texas
man.
or up in Washington?
Washington.
Oh man,
And
they're just sitting in your backyard
sevens.
right now.
I've caught quite a few sevens here and a shit ton of sixes, but I can't. You don't know how to fish. I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah. Any other businesses you got coming down the pipeline? You got bulktungsten.co coming out in a month. Anything else rattling in the back of your mind?
We're actually gonna launch a coaching company.
A business coaching company.
Yeah, basically from 0 to $1 million, how to do it in a year, and like kind of show people how to build companies fast and grow them, and just kind of teach people how to do it. Because a lot of times is like this education that's out there, it's so false. It's like everybody's telling you different ways to do things, but in reality, there is a set way to do it. We've done it multiple times now. It's like we know how to do it a correct way and how it works with algorithms and stuff like that. So if people are like want to start companies, so that we really want to help them, to be honest. So
0 to $1 million a year. You can coach them to that.
What was that?
0 to $1 million a year. You can coach them to that.
I mean, if you're dedicated.
Yeah. No, I get it.
If you're not dedicated, it's not going to happen. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So if it comes down to the people and if they have good ideas and stuff like that, but in reality, it's just getting started as this thing. If you go 0 to 100,000, now you're not very motivated. If you're only doing 100,000 your first year and you're starting a company, you're like, you see what I'm saying? Like that's not the big goal. You got to always shoot high.
Yeah. Okay. Coaching company. I mean, do you have any time left in the day? What in the world?
We're about to. Soon enough, man. We keep hiring people.
Hieronymus Outdoors says, when does that come out? Which one are you talking about, Hieronymus? Are you talking about?
I think it's about the coaching. That one.
The
just
coaching.
came out.
All right.
Yeah, we'll probably be doing that in I'd say 2 to 3 months. We still got a little time because we want to make sure the tungsten company gets rolling and stuff like that. And we really want to specialize in the outdoor industry. That's one of our big things, like how to source products, how to make the products, how to design the products, how to get all that automated, and then how to actually market the products the correct way. Because that's honestly is the biggest thing is marketing. You can have a million good ideas, but if you don't know how to market it, you're not going to do anything.
I can contest that you have some sick marketing. It must be working for you. That's awesome. All right, we didn't do the last 2 giveaways, right? We're only giving away 2, right?
That's
all right.
correct.
So if you're sitting on, we got 62 in the live, and 1, if you have not yet hit that like button on the YouTube live, please go ahead and do that. Please help us get a little juice after this is all said and done. I would love if you're listening to the podcast, also leave a review on Apple. I don't ask this very often, but I love to get coming up on 100 reviews. So if you could If you don't want to give a 5-star review, don't leave your review. If you want to give a 5-star, head on over there. I have like 2 or 3 like randos, like zeros. And I was like, did you even listen to the podcast? Like, what are you even talking about? Nonetheless, 39. You got about 15 seconds to get your entry in because there's 61 of you listening in, but only 39 entries at the moment. Hit live in the comment section. This is so funny. Seth and I were doing this last week, and we had the big $1,600 worth of giveaways. We had, I think, 4,000 comments that stream last week. It was stupid. People were just losing their minds. I have no clue what they were talking about. All right, we got 40. Here we go. We're going to give away some more math money. This is one of my favorite things to do. We need to give away other people's money more.
Giving away other people's money.
Yeah, it's the best. All right, here we go. Who's going to win the next $25 gift card?
We're used to it. Don't worry.
Say what? You're used to it? All right.
You're used to it, man. I'm the donator, and it's bad. I've donated so much. It's like I'm not doing it as much anymore. I'm kind of slowing down because I was too generous this last year, to be honest.
What's too generous look like? I'm curious.
I kid you not. We gave out a lot of products. We gave a lot of donations like that. I'm just, little plateau a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Besides this, we'll let him just rob us.
After this, after tonight, we're done giving stuff away. Oh my gosh. Everyone's like, Daren, freaking hit the giveaway button. All right, here we go. Let's draw. See who wins. We're going to do 2 of these. Seth, are you in this? Did you throw your name in here?
I am, but I'll donate it back to the deer.
I am Broly. In Broly. There's so many different ways I can pronounce that. Congratulations. You can head over and get yourself some rod sleeves tonight. What's the deal that you're running right now, Matthew?
For rod sleeves?
Yeah.
You buy 6, you get 2 free.
All right, I've done that.
Easy
That's how
bags.
I first learned about you. I just bought 8 of them. I was like, these things are freaking.
Yeah, whenever you buy, always look for the deals because if you buy like tackle storage bags, if you buy 4, you get 2 free. So the prices are actually a lot better than people think because you break it down. Like for those easy bags, comes out to be like $18.50 a piece. If you order 4 of them, you get 2 for free. So it's like,
yeah,
nice. All right, I am Broly. Since I have no clue who you are, I need you to snapshot on your YouTube where it actually shows your name. Send it to the email scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And let's run this one more time. We're going to draw again. We got 41 entries. Here we go. You can't win again in Broly and Brawley, whatever it is. Here we go.
Said thanks. Never won anything again. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Seth. And Tiberius Kirk. It's a regular on the show. Tiberius, same deal. Same song and dance there. So awesome. Well, we're going to land this plane here. Matthew, thank you so much for being generous with some of your product, giving out some gift cards tonight, sharing a little bit of your story. Look forward to meeting you. I'll be at ICAST, be walking around just like you. So I'll text you. We'll connect.
Yeah. We'll link up. Let me know, man.
Yeah. Hopefully do some reviews of the Stick 5 rods here in the future. I want to get my hands on some of those. So I'm excited about that. But everyone else, thank you so much for listening in. Before we go, I do have a show partner tonight, Dark Horse Tackle. In fact, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. If you put in the code Wendell Fishing at darkhorsetackle.com, you get $5 off your $30 orders there. So thank you, Dark Horse, for helping make this podcast possible on the week to week. Head over to livefishing.co. You have bulktungsten.co. You have boatdrip.co. Stick 5 doesn't have his own website. It's integrated into Live.
Yeah,
right?
I combined them this year actually because I got tired of dealing with orders on both of them, to be honest.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
So combine those. You can check those out. And I'm sure if you write Matthew or his team, they'll get back to you. But thank you so much. We'll see you next Tuesday on the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all. Have a great rest of the week.